Why do you have a cup? Why do you have a red Solo cup? Don't you wanna have fun? Fool around someone. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tamika, and today we are going to be going over my mid-month wrap-up because for once I have enough books to talk about for a mid-month since forever now. Like, I feel like I've been stuck in a limbo of not having enough books for a mid-month wrap-up, and I'm finally there again. Like, I finally have enough to like actually give y'all a mid-month and be able to talk about more than 3 things. So I did have a couple DNFs this month. I want to start with thrillers this month because I do have horror and thrillers, but there's less thrillers than there are horror, so I'll do that and then I'll do horror. So I read Our Kind of Cruelty. This is a story about a stalker. We essentially have our hero who is stalking our heroine. They are former lovers. In the beginning of the book, they aren't actually together, but we get to learn about their relationship throughout the progress of the story. It was just interesting. This is one I was very, very intrigued by and super interested in. I just really enjoyed the way the story was told. We do have a lot of communication between these two characters through emails. Watching these two was just super interesting, and I really enjoyed just getting to see the perspective of both of them because they both are kind of unhinged, I would say. One of them is 100% unhinged and is obsessed with the other one, and the other one just doesn't really do what she should do in the situation of if you're being stalked and you are in love with your husband and you don't want your former boyfriend to like come stalk you down. You don't keep it to yourself, which she does do. It's very weird. Her decisions are very confusing. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I listened to the audio and it was just a fun time. I had a lot of fun with this one. I'm really glad I listened to it. I think I listened to it on Hoopla, so check it out if you have Hoopla. Then I also read some horror this month already. I have 2 on here and I'm getting ready to start another one. I'm thinking I'm gonna try to do a recommendation video sometime in the near future for my favorite horrors because I love it, and I'm so happy I'm finally like able to read horror and enjoy it and have a way to talk to y'all about it. The first one is Nothing But the Blackened Teeth. This one, beautiful. This was a buddy read with Ashley. This one is essentially following this group of people who are kind of joining together because 2 of the characters are getting married, and they go into this kind of like cave-like thing and weird things start happening, and I literally can't tell you anything else. It's kind of like a haunting kind of story, kind of like a little paranormal, kind of like a little bit of sprinkle of that going on. It was so much fun. It was only 4 hours. Genuinely had the time of my life. Like, I absolutely loved this. I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed all of our characters. I enjoyed the gore in here and like the things that had to happen in order for the story to kind of progress the way that it did, and I loved the conclusion and everything that happened. The conclusion messed me up. It was absolutely phenomenal and I just really had a fun time. I'm loving doing these buddy reads with Ashley. They are just exactly what I needed, and I didn't realize these were exactly what I needed, but I'm loving it. I absolutely loved this and I definitely recommend you go check it out. So the next one is an anthology. It's a horror anthology by Stephen Graham Jones. This is After the People Lights Have Gone Out or Gone Off. This one is a horror anthology. I'm pretty sure all by Stephen Graham Jones. I gave this one 3 stars, and the way I kind of like talked about this one to Ashley, and that's the same way I'm going to talk to you all about it. I had a really good time with this one. I listened to the audiobook. I had fun with it. Like, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the writing. I really enjoyed the stories. There were some that were actually, you know, they actually stuck with me, and some of them didn't. The way I would describe this is I had a lot of fun. I would 100% listen to this again. The problem is some of these, I just don't feel like they stuck with me that well, and it felt like I had a great time while I was reading them. It was a great experience. I'm so happy that I spent my time doing it, but looking back, I don't remember a ton about the stories. I don't remember a ton about what was going on. Not a ton of them stuck with me. In reality, only a couple stuck with me, and that's completely fine, and that is better than most story anthologies do for me. So I had a really fun time with this. I would almost describe this as kind of like what I would experience when I was listening to creepypastas when I was younger, which I still listen to creepypastas, so I don't know why I clarified for when I was younger, but like it's that same feeling for me of I just enjoy listening to short stories that are horror, like horror short stories, and this was that. I would not have traded doing anything else. I was working on photos at work. I was doing photo editing and I was working through this audiobook while I was doing it, and it was great. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I think that there's just certain types of people who like certain types of things, and I don't feel like you can have a 5-star short story collection. I don't feel like every single story can stick with you, and I don't feel like every single story is absolutely great for everyone. So I mean, I had fun. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I would recommend it. If you like short stories, if you are anything like me where you enjoy reading short stories or you enjoy listening to short stories, if you enjoy doing that to pass time, I think you should read it. I think it's a great idea and you'll have a good time. I did listen to both of those on Scribd, so if you want to try Scribd, I do have a link down in the description. Love Scribd. It's fantastic. Me and Ashley are working our way through almost every single horror on Scribd though, so just know that going in. We are quickly running through our selection, so if y'all want a recommendation video from me and Ashley, let us know. All right, let's talk about the manga really quickly because I only have 4 that I can talk about right now, and Dallas says he wants to come get in the frame, but he's not allowed. I know, I'm sorry you can't get in the frame. All right, so first of all, I read Frozen Blood Volume 1. This was a, this is one I pre-ordered and I just never got around to last year, and the second volume just came out and I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. So essentially we have this one following our heroine who is taken captive by vampires. She doesn't know that they're vampires, but they are. So they take these like rose red crystals and they eat them. That's how they survive. And our heroine can't leave, and she doesn't understand why she can't leave. She doesn't understand how they found her. She doesn't understand like how all this stuff happened and why she's stuck in this estate. And things kind of unfold from there, and I really can't give you any more of a description because I'm afraid I will spoil it, because it is so good. It is so adorable, and I'm like, I love all these characters already, and I love these people, and I love our heroine, and I love all of it. And I'm excited to see how it goes. I can't wait to see how the choice our heroine makes at the end of the book develops further. You know, I'm very excited. I cannot wait to read it. Cannot wait to read the next volume. Then I read Those Not So Sweet Boys Volume 2, which if you know me at all, hi. I read the first volume last year and I gave it 5 stars. And I said I was going to continue it, and I didn't. So I read the second volume this month, and I am so sad that I did not continue it when I originally had. Because it's not that I didn't enjoy this volume, but I did not have the same experience I did when I read the first volume. And I think I hyped it up a little bit in my head of what I was going to be getting in this next volume, and I let myself down by doing that. So though I didn't love this volume as much as the first one, I did have a fun time. I am still going to continue reading it. So essentially Those Not So Sweet Boys, it follows Midori and 4 dudes. She has to get them back in school because she makes an agreement with her, I think it's the chairman of the school or the principal of the school, something like that, to get them back in school, and he will like let it slide that she has a job when she's not supposed to. So that's the story of the first one. I really enjoyed the first one. This one was still fun. I just wish I would have read them closer together and I hadn't hyped them up so much in my head, but it is what it is, you know? So I'm excited to continue reading it. Then I have Kakagiri Volume 1, which is a 5-star read. I freaking loved this first volume. I have already purchased the second volume. It is in there in my kitchen, and when I finish my filming today that I have to do and I get my life together, I get all my stuff done, that's my reward for the day, is I get to go sit down and read Kakagiri Volume 2 while my iPad charges, so I then can read Kakagiri Volume 3 because there's not a physical copy of that one right now that I can get my hands on, so I gotta buy it through Kindle. So this was sold to me as lesbian gambling. Now, is there lesbians in the first book? No, not a damn lesbian inside. I was pissed, but it did have a lot of gambling, and it was just like anxiety inducing in like the best way possible, if that makes any sense. I had the time of my life because the gambling was just so addicting. Like, it was just so interesting and so intriguing, and I couldn't stop reading it. Like, I read it on a live and I was like almost done with it, and we had to end like the sprint, and I was like, guys, I just need like 15 more minutes. Come on, let me have 15 more minutes. But I finished it like right after the live, and it was fantastic. And I cringed at one point because there is a scene where she bets her fingernails and her toenails, and that idea just makes me sick. I just cannot. I cannot. No. So yeah, it's essentially a school dedicated to learning how to gamble, and that's the extent of what the school is. So then I also read Ibitsu, or Ibitsu. I don't know how you pronounce this. This is a horror manga that is Honestly, so good. So good. Don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to tell you about it. So what I'm going to tell you to do is to go watch my first impressions reading vlog situation where I read the volume, the entirety of the thing, and I give you my first initial thoughts. It's gory, it's bloody, it's gross, and I love it. Following a guy who answers to this she is a like urban legend Lolita character who will ask you if you have a little sister or would you have a sister, and if you answer yes, she takes it as you want her to be your sister, or if you say no, it means no, you don't have one, so she tries to be your little sister. It's really interesting. It's really good. Go watch my vlog if you want full thoughts. I just had the time of my life. Okay, so let's talk about the romances really quickly. There are a lot. There's 6 of them. So we have 6 romances to talk about. Let's talk about my DNFs really quickly because they're going to be kind of brief. I don't really want to talk about them too much. Where the good girls go to die. I don't really remember anything about this. Like, I did not care. Essentially, we had a character, I'm pretty sure she like ends up working as a tattoo artist, or working not as a tattoo artist, but at a tattoo studio. And we have a tattoo artist who apparently is also their body piercer, which I don't know if you know anything about tattoos or body modifications, but they're not the same thing. Your tattoo artist is not usually your piercer, and your piercer is also not usually a tattoo artist. They're different. It's a completely different skill set, and you just don't, because you have 20 minutes in between your tattoo clients, you can just, you know, pierce someone's nipples. And that happens in here, which is weird, and I don't understand it. There was the cheating trope. I knew that going in, but I didn't get invested enough in this relationship to even care about that part. I was more hung up on the fact that this girl works at a tattoo studio. They actually had a tattoo artist do the job of a body piercer, which again, completely different skill sets. I don't understand. They talk very weirdly about tattooing. I didn't like it. I didn't have fun. So I dipped out. Then I DNF'd While She Sleeps, which is the somnophilia book that is the Sleeping Beauty kink. I was just bored. I just didn't care. I didn't like our heroine or our hero. I felt our heroine was very annoying. The thing that pissed me off the most about our heroine was the fact that our hero she was promised to our hero when she was 10, and she's pissed off at our hero for abandoning her when she was 10 because she was 10, and she doesn't understand why he wouldn't marry her when she was 10 years old, and she's mad at him for that. And I can't get past that part. I really want to read the Sleeping Beauty kink though, so like if you have actual somnophilia recs that like I would more than likely be interested in, let me know, because I would like to read the kink, just not in this book. Then I have Blackmailing His Bride by Brianna Hill. I love her. I love Brianna. I DNF'd this so hard. I let Ashley spoil it for me. I hate this series. I had generously rated it 5 stars, the first book. I've since dropped it to a 3. I rated the second book, I'm pretty sure it has 2 stars, but it's more like a 1. I hate this series. I'm not even reviewing it. I'm literally just DNFing it. I'm done. I love Brianna. I'm not going to read this series. I can't do it. I can't put myself through it. The world doesn't make any sense. It does not feel like a Brianna Hill book. I'm out. I don't want to read it. I don't care about anything happening in it. And I didn't feel like any of the chain events that was happening made any sense. And then I had 3 5 stars, which is absolutely wild because I loved all 3 of these books. So I have The Never King, which is a Dark Peter Pan retelling that May has forced me and Izzy to read. I had the time of my life. Dark Peter Pan reverse harem. I like the character that spits in her mouth. Are we shocked? I'm not. No one should be shocked. We essentially have Winnie Darling, who is a line of the Darling women who get taken captive by Peter Pan when they turn 18, and they all come back and they're all usually insane. They lose their mind after being with Peter Pan. It's following Winnie and she is like the last chance to really like get the secret, and Peter Pan is dying and like a whole situation. It's so good. The smut, so good. It is touch her and you fucking die vibes. He rips someone's heart out of their chest for speaking to her. Do with that information what you will. I'm ready for book 2. It comes out in April. Then I read A Ruin of Roses, which is what I thought was a female Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's not, but it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's just not female. It is male. And might I add, fantastic. So good. Like, who would have thunk that I could read books that were straight, not gay, and I love them. Who would have thought? Ruin of Roses is fantastic. It's so good. Essentially, we have a sickness that is sweeping this kingdom, and we have our beauty character who goes and gets taken because she is trying to help the kingdom by making this elixir, and we have our beast who is like, you know, this, that, and the other, and he's a dragon shifter and she is a shifter, but the shifter's powers are, I can't describe it. They're like suppressed, so like you can't shift. And like the powers of your animal, like they're not actually, you can't access them, and it's a bunch of stuff. Like we have a big curse going on. No one at the castle ages, and they are all into super kinky stuff because they're bored out of their mind, and the demons are like, the succubuses and the demons are like, hey, here's this weird shit we can do. Are you bored? And they do it. So it's very interesting. I had the time of my life. I can't wait for book 2. I know they have to be fated mates. And they don't know it yet. I've already bought book 2. I'm already about to start it. Like, once I finish these 2 audiobooks I have to get to, this is the next audiobook I'm listening to. I can't wait. It's so good. It's so good. I can't even describe how much I love it. It gave me ACOTAR vibes in the best way, because there's like these different towns that kind of remind me of the courts, but they're not like courts. They're little villages, and like they can't access each other because they can't get to one another, because they're basically thrown back into the 18th century, which is really weird, but like it works so good. Just try it. Just try it. I promise. Last book is The Marionettes by Katie Wismer, which, if you have been around my channel, I did read the poetry collection that Katie Wismer put out when she released it. What was it? The Sweetest Kind of Poison? So this is her a new adult academy series, and it's paranormal, and I freaking loved it. It's vampire and witches, and I just want them all of it in my brain. I loved it. Did I already buy book 2 on this one too? Yes, I did. Am I disappointed? I don't know, because I know book 3 is not out, and I know she's not releasing an audiobook to the third book until way later, which makes me so fucking sad, because I freaking love these audiobooks. They are so good. So essentially we have a blood witch, right? So we have a blood witch who is in this academy. She's the last of the blood witches, and she is trying to become a part of the Marionettes, which all the blood witches end up being a part of the Marionettes. And this world is just so intricate, and like so much is going on, and I genuinely need Katie to just give me all of the books right now. Like, I'm dying. They're so good, and like you can already tell there's gonna be a romance. I don't know who it's with. I don't know if we're getting a love triangle, or if we're gonna actually have a romance with like one specific character. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I need to know. This is a romance. This is a romance series. She has clarified this will be a romance series. We will get an HEA, right? I just need it. I need to know who it's gonna be with, because like it's technically like a slow burn, but it's kind of not. I don't know how to talk to you about it, because it's so good. It's so fantastic. It's just, there's smutty scenes in here, but there's not, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't make any sense. So she can like see into someone's head, because there's a very strong bond with somebody. So she can watch she watches them have sex at one point. So do with that information what you will. Please read this series. It's so good. I'm so excited for book 2. I cannot wait. Really hoping we don't have second book syndrome. I'm excited regardless. I love Katie Wismer. I don't know what else to say other than I can't freaking wait. I can't wait. This is already kind of long, so I'm not gonna bore you with what I'm currently reading, but I am really excited for the rest of the things I have planned to read this month. It is only the 12th. And I've read so many things already, and I am just so excited to see what all I can read by the end of the month. I feel like I've got my mojo back, you know? Like, I feel like I'm me again. I feel like I'm, hello, hi, who is she? Is she back? She is. Hi, how's it going? So I'm really excited for spring, and it snowed 8 inches here in the good old East KY. So give me a frog emoji down in the comments, because I'm really feeling spring. I'm ready for it. So yeah, I'll chat with y'all in my next video. Bye everyone.
baby said that they don't got a future.